Welcome to Guthrie Sports Page Television. Chris Evans along with the coach Chris LeGrande as the Blue Jays win it here tonight over the Harrah Panthers. Final score 49-7. Coach, the Blue Jays jump out to a 7-0 lead. Nothing unusual there, but the Panthers tied up 7-7. It was a fight for a quarter and a half.
Absolutely. I mean, it took basically one play, and 53 yards later, Harrah was on the scoreboard, and it was a ball game after the first quarter, 7-7. And so the Blue Jays really faced a little adversity for the first time this year, other than the Durant game, and were able to, of course, rebound very nicely and come out and win running away. But for a quarter, 7-7, had the Blue Jay fans and coaching staff a little bit worried.
And the Blue Jays again winning here at 49-7. They extend that winning streak to 20 games in a row. And Coach Dante Foster continues to put up numbers.
Oh, yeah. He had a 61-yard TD reception, a 10-yard TD reception. Just another outstanding performance by the senior. That's one thing that Dante's done a really good job of this year, and that's taking leadership opportunities on his shoulders and making big play after big play. And it seems like we've grown accustomed to it. But each week that he's been out on the football field, we expect him to make a big play, or as we said in the booth tonight, a touchdown waiting to happen. Tonight he did not disappoint.
And it doesn't disappoint if it's single coverage, double coverage, as we saw tonight over there, triple coverage.
Oh, just an amazing catch, and we kind of made fun of it on the broadcast. But I tell you what, if you put 2 guys on him, 3 guys on him, half the team on him, it really doesn't matter. He finds a way to come up and come down with the football, and just a magnificent athlete.
We'll continue with the positives here. Our Huddle House Player of the Week is Contrell Brothers. He finishes with 4 catches, 106 yards, including a touchdown and 2 sacks defensively. Contrell Brothers are Huddle House Player of the Week.
Oh, a magnificent performance tonight by the sophomore Contrell Brothers. And that's what with the Blue Jays, they have so many weapons, so many people, so much versatility that they can go to week in and week out. And tonight it was the sophomore that stepped up and just made some magnificent plays, not only receiving the football, he does such a good job of catching it with his hands, but also at the defensive end position where he had 2 big sacks. And I tell you, it is just difficult to run around him because he has such good speed and he's really strong. And once he gets a grasp of the quarterback, there's really no getting out of his grasp.
And honorable mention here tonight, Keaton Collins continues to put up the number 17 for 33, 314 yards, 3 touchdowns. Does have the 1 interception on a 3rd down or 4th down play. They had it at the 15-yard line. No harm there, really. But Keaton Collins continues to put up big numbers, over 300 yards tonight.
I tell you guys, anytime you can pass for over 300 yards in a high school football game, that's very impressive. And he was able to do so once again tonight. And again, if you ask Keaton, he'll give the credit to his receivers and his offensive line for giving him time to throw, but that's where we got to give a lot of credit to that offensive line. It seems like time and time again he has just all day long to throw the football, and when you give him time with the athleticism that the Blue Jay receivers possess, they're going to get open and they're going to make big plays. And of course that was the key to his success tonight.
And I promise you, we're getting to that Carl Albert thing here in just a moment. But we've gone with the positives. Go with a little bit negative, Coach. Going into the game, the Blue Jay coaching staff was really wanting to get the rushing game going. Only 25, 30 yards. Now, Harrah was stacking the box 6, 7 deep. But the Blue Jays, 25 or 30 yards at the half. They do able to get close to the 100 yards rushing. That's something they want to definitely work on, continue to work on this week, and get set for the big matchup next week.
Oh, absolutely, because, like Coach Watkins said in his postgame, normally they stack the box to stop the run, and this year it's the other way around with the Blue Jay offense. So potent through the air, their aerial attack has been so good, but of course they want to achieve balance, and in order to be a good football team and to be the best they can, they've got to achieve that balance. And of course it starts with the rushing game. You can ask any offensive coordinator or football coach and they will tell you it begins with the rushing attack. And tonight, of course, it was a little bit slow, but that's something that they will work on, and definitely in preparation for the big game on Thursday night.
Okay, deep breath. Guthrie Carl Albert is here. Not Carl Albert Guthrie, but Guthrie Carl Albert, and we can finally get ready for that one. Of course, it's a Thursday night, 7:30 kickoff, Cox Channel 7, of course, on Triple Play Sports 105.1. People will be there early. People will be there often. It's Oku, it's Foster, it's Callens, it's Dayton Low. The star power is there tonight, next week.
Oh, that game will not be anything short of magnificent. And I tell you, you talk about firepower, star power, whatever you want to call it, but it will be the game of the week in the state of Oklahoma, no doubt. Just with all the great athletes that are going to be on the field, and the tradition, and especially the last 7 years and all those games and how close they've been, it will be a magnificent atmosphere. I know last year, Casey, you and I, we got there around 3:30. by 5 o'clock, the Guthrie stands were full. And so I tell you, you're right. If you want to get to that game, they're already selling tickets at the high school. You can go by the high school, get the tickets in advance. You don't have to wait in line. But get there early, tailgate, have some fun, and enjoy the football game.
Of course, the Blue Jays won the district championship a year ago at Carl Albert 24-21. Have to return it again this year. And Carl Albert won the year before right here at Gelsman Stadium 26-21. And, Coach, outside of Jinx Union, this is probably over the last 5-7 years has lived up to the hype as one of the better games in the state of Oklahoma behind that Jinx Union rival.
Oh, absolutely. On the west part of the state, it has to be the best game on the western part of the state and the best rivalry. And, Coach Rose, Coach Watkins, just great respect for each other and their program. And again, there's no fear and there's no intimidation. The Titans intimidate most teams they play. They will not intimidate the Blue Jays, that's for sure. But mutual respect, and that's the beauty of the game.
And we'll dissect it all week long here on GuthrieSportsPage.com. But going into it, Coach, it's going to be interesting to see Keaton Callens in the Blue Jay passing game against perhaps the best secondary ever assembled at one card, because 4 secondary members, 3 of them are probably Division I prospects. Oh, they are Division I prospects. It'll be a tremendous scene next week. That's why that Blue Jay rushing game will be huge next week.
Absolutely, and again, it's going to be in addition to the rushing game, the ability to protect Keaton Callens. I think that's so important, because I don't care if you have time to throw the football. It doesn't matter what kind of a covered corner you are or a safety. You cannot cover a guy for an extended period of time, and especially with the Guthrie's athletes and their speed, they will be able to get open. So that's going to be key. But in order to set up the passing game, you must establish the run. And so I'm sure that's something that the Blue Jays will definitely work on this week in practice.
Speaking of the run, that brings us to David Oku, the standout that I'm guessing University of Tennessee is where I'm guessing he's going to end up at. But expect 25, 35 carries for David Oku.
Oh, absolutely. When you're talking about a guy that's had offers from OU, OSU, Michigan, Tennessee, some of the Florida schools, you're talking about a Division I athlete with a lot of potential that a lot of college guys see. And since they've scrapped the spread offense that they incorporated at the beginning of the season, look for 25, 30, 35 carries, depending on the type of success they're having on the ground against the Blue Jays.
Should be a fun time. The Blue Jays, again, 20-game winning streak they'll take into Carl Albert. And that's high school football, Coach. Guthrie, Carl Albert.
Oh, that's what more can you say? Guthrie, Carl Albert, Guthrie. I'm sure they'll have some new T-shirts printed this week.
They're already out. They're already out.
Carl Albert.
They're already out. So, again, the Blue Jays here tonight defeat the Harrah Panthers. Final score, 49-7. They're 6-0 on the season, 3-0 in district play. Extend that winning streak to 20 games, but it will definitely be on the test next week against those Carl Albert Titans. Again, all the coverage you would want of Guthrie, Carl Albert this week on GuthrieSportsPage.com. And for Coach LeGrande, Casey, I'm Chris Evans. We appreciate you listening to Guthrie Sports Page Television.